HTML forms. Today we are discussing about HTML forms, the basics forms, how we creating the forms. So here, this is how the forms look like, right? So we may have some buttons here, we may have some text and text box. Likewise, it's working. So here in forms there are elements. So here, if you study these things, you will find out, you will understand how the forms works. So here we have attributes, form attributes, and we have form elements. We have input types. There are different types we can input, input attributes and input form attributes. So these are the whole things about forms. And if you're checking, we can have form elements. This is how the form start. Then here we can add form elements, and here we have a form clause tag also. Then there are different types of input elements we can use. Text input we can do. This is the example of text input. This is how we input the text. And there are radio inputs. We can add radio buttons and checkbox and submit button. Submit also a kind of button. So we can have a different kind of button. So you can see what are the elements we have here. If you go to element, you can see like there are different elements we have: input, label, select, text area, button. These are the elements we have. Mostly we use input element. Then we have input types. You can see like we can have a button input, checkbox input, color, date, like plenty of things. Email, file, you can add file input. Likewise, there are plenty of things we can have here. So then this is the example of form. We can execute and see how it's working. So this is how the forms look like, right? They have a label. Best for this moment we are only focusing on the basic forms. So let me start from the beginning, so I can delete everything. Now we don't have anything here to display. So first I'm starting with basic HTML elements. So HTML, then we can give a nice heading. Okay, if you can't see, you can little bit zoom. Inside the heading we can have a title for our form. I can give a name like this, HTML form. After heading we can have our body tag. Okay, inside the body let me add some text here. Okay, let me run this and see. Okay, this is what we are getting as an output. So this is how is a basic HTML template. So inside this we can add our our forms. So first we have to have a form element, clause tag. So both we are having here. Inside the form we can have our form elements and attributes. So first I'm having a name input. So this is the name input. Let me see what's we are having. Okay, just name. So inside the name, for the name I can give some input forms like so. Okay, here we are using the input element. Okay, so this is the input element. So this element we are using. These elements are coming under form tag, right? So the element is input. So this element is used to have the input from the users. So we have to have there are different types of input, right? Different types of input we can have like button, checkbox, color, date, right? So here normally we are getting text input. So this is text input. So this is the way we can get the input type. So here we have to mention this is the text input. Otherwise you can say like it's the radio button. Likewise you can differentiate. The type is the word to get the type of input. So here we can have a type equal. Now we are getting a text, right? Text input. Let me see what we are having. Okay, once I type this one, I'm getting this text box, right? This is the text box input. Then we can have our next data. For example, I can have a password. Okay, password I'm requesting. So for password, the same things, input, type. Normally password is a kind of text, right? Okay, let me see. Okay, our form is not in the order, so I can give a break here. Break tag R. Now, okay, now it looks nice. But we can type here, and if I am typing the password, it's shown, right? It's visible, right? The password, but normally the password should not visible. So what I can do, I can check is there any element I can use. Input types I can use. Here there is a password input types, so I can use the password input type, right? I can copy this one. Here I'm changing the type of the input, right? The type of the input I'm changing here. Okay, password. So my first input is a text input. The second input is the password input. Now let's run. Okay, it's refreshed. I'm getting text. Here when I'm typing the password, it's not visible, right? That's why I'm using this password type. When I'm using the password type, my input, it's not visible, right? There is the difference between the types. So that's how the different types are we can use. We can use hidden. We can check like a hidden. What is this one? Okay. Here it's hidden. The form is hidden, right? Sometimes you can use this option. If you want, there is a text box, but it's not visible to the users, right? So this is how the hidden is working. Change this one as a password. Now we will have our next input. I can get gender. So the same thing. Input type. Input type I'm having here. We can have a text input as well. Let me see how it's coming. Okay, here I have to give the another break. Okay, now gender. You can have a gender to type, to enter, or you can give some options, right? Like you can use a radio button for that. Okay, this one I can see. This is the radio button option, radio. So I can use this option. Let me see what we are having. Okay, so you can see, right, this button, the radio button options we are having here. For this radio button, we can give some names, right? Male, I can give male. Okay, now I'm having male. Now we have to give female as well, right? Copy that one. The same thing, female. If I want to give other option, I can give that option as well. Okay, now we have the radio button. Then we can add, let me give a break here. We can add email. Input type. There is option for emails as well, so you can add that one. Email, it's supposed to be here. Yeah, email. You can use email input. Here you can add emails. So here we have entered email. So for this email we can normally have the text file, okay, text input, but here we are using email input. What is the difference? We will see. Okay, when we have the submit button, let me check. Okay, so email. Then we can add a phone number. So this phone number we can have a different input. We can give some options, right? We can give some country code or something. For the phone number, we are using the select option. This is somewhat different from other form inputs. You can see. Okay, I have a clause tag as well. Then here I can give some options. Option. Then option. So for example, if we have carriers, we can give some carrier options, or if we have country codes, we can give country codes. For example, Note 77 is the carrier option in Sri Lanka, right? You can copy this one, paste. I'll give only 3 options: Note 715, Note 71, and Note 75. These kind of options you can give, right? These are the options you can give, right? Then we can have an input as a. Okay, let me see what we are giving. I'm deleting this one. Okay, phone number, we have to give a break here. Okay, now we are having the select option, right? You can select whatever you want. Okay, that's what I'm mentioning inside the select tags. Inside the select tag, after the phone, inside the select tags, I'm giving different options. If you want to give another option, you can give like a Note 76 we have. Okay, then run. Now I'm having 4 options, right? I can select any options I want. Then I have to get the numbers. So now I'm entering the input type. Okay, now we can have the numbers here, mobile numbers here. Okay, so this is how it's working. Or here we can give the country codes, like what is the country code for Sri Lanka, like plus 94. Likewise, you can give the country code, right? So people can select the countries here. Okay, or you can give like 94 Sri Lanka. Likewise, you can give the names, so people can select. This is how you may have the experience, right? When you enter the phone numbers, you can add these details as well, right? This is how it's working. I'm deleting this option. Okay, so let me run. Then we can finally have a submit button. So that's another input. You can see here, right? Submit. Okay, let's try. Okay, submit. Okay, now we are getting a submit button. Once I press the submit button, the file you asked for does not exist because we are not giving any other further details. Okay, now we just design the form. Normally in the forms we are getting these details to send to another form or send to another process using PHP or other languages we can do, but now at this moment we are only designing the form. So, or you can create some class, get, post, set. There are different methods you can use to send the details. Okay, so this moment we are only using this one to submit. Or you can have another button like reset button. Use that reset button. Okay, this button, reset. Okay, this reset button, once you type something here, it will reset, right? It will give the reset option. Okay, name I am typing something, and password I am typing something, and select female. Then email I am typing something, and try to submit. Okay, I am getting the error, right? You can see in the email, please include what? Please include an @ in the email address. Is missing an @. You see there is a validation happening because the email input type is the email. Okay, if I am giving text, I am not getting any errors, right? Okay, I have to give @ sign. The email, if it's an email type of input, it's supposed to have a @ sign. That's why I'm getting the error. Okay, if I am type something and I want to clear everything, I can use this reset button. Reset. Right? Let me check this one works or not. Let me get sign, email, other, I select everything. Okay, this radio button is not completely working. I don't know why. Let me check. Okay, this is how we are setting the forms. Basic forms are working like this.
Indian economy
எக்ஸாம்ஸ் இருக்கு ஏன் இப்படி ஓவரா பயப்படுற